Hello everyone, welcome to the GTL Enduro series from my point of view at Interlagos. This was a very challenging race due to the mixed conditions. It started out quite wet and it dried out around about half distance from memory. I'm going to do my best to capture the more exciting moments and skip through some of the bits that are maybe less so. That being said, it was pretty intense for the entire race, and there's from the driver's point of view, there probably weren't a lot of non-interesting moments, but I'll try and capture the more exciting ones for the video. I was starting from a rather poor position compared to what I'd usually expect, due to only doing some siding laps in the time trial. I never really hooked in and did a representative lap time. I sort of jumped in the time trial to understand the car and the track, and then I focused more on practicing for the race and setting up the car for the wet conditions. Spent a couple of hours doing wet practice, a very little bit of dry practice right before the race started, so I was relatively unprepared for what was quite a tricky conditions. I think a lot of people on the grid hadn't done enough preparation in terms of wet and dry, which is not to say anybody was sort of racing poorly for that, but yeah, there were a fair few spins and a lot of people sort of saying that they were not prepared for both situations, which is fair enough. It was very difficult to do. I knew the beginning of this race, due to the poor start, was going to be mostly about being patient, staying out of trouble, looking to pick off positions as they arise, thinking that mistakes here and there, and just trying to be consistent. That being said, the conditions were even worse than I expected. The visibility was terrible, without further ado, we're lining up shortly. I might just shut up and we'll probably run through the first little bit without too much voiceover.
Get up to 15. So just in front of GD there. Got it, thanks guys. Check one equipment. It's alright, we're good. And go, green flag.
17th place.
Almost gentle,
right.
go.
Hold your line.
I'll never do it all.
Still there. Clear right. Car left. Still there. Still there. Still there. Clear left. On your left. Clear left. Left side. Hold your line. Clear left.
You're out to track limits there.
On your left. Hold your line.
I'm just going to pause here as a great example of a lot of the troubles that happened early race. You see here, I've got a guy on the inside. Ahead of me is just spray. Where's the exit to the corner? We're about to find out. Oh, I've gone onto the grass a little bit wide. It was incredibly hard to spot the braking markers, to spot the actual turn-in points. Later on, I'm going to get some clear air in front of me and actually be able to see and instantly go half a second a lap quicker without changing anything, just from being able to actually spot your braking markers.
Okay, Pierre, keep it nice and smooth. Come on.
On your right. Hold your line. Clear right.
Good pass. Now keep pushing.
That little steering correction there, that was the bane of my existence. Happened on this corner way too many times. It also likes to do it around the track, but the rear end will just want to overtake the front as you come off the brakes into the turn. And I tried to tune it out of the settings and had no success. But yeah, you'll see that many, many times.
Just done a 134.3. P15.
So I've just pulled out of the spray here on the left, and you see me sort of looking right, trying to spot the 200 board, which was my braking marker in the wet. I do this many, many times, and sometimes it works, sometimes not, but you just got no chance sitting on the right there because it comes out of nowhere at you. If you're on the left, you might kind of spot it a bit before you get to it, but limited success with this, but it was worth a crack anyway. And then we see G-Dude just run in the back of somebody and then disappear. It's actually just an internet disconnect, unfortunately. I think he said the power went out at his house, so machine obviously gone offline. The game's kind of done some interpreted input. Fortunately, I believe the person who got run into actually didn't have any damage, so the server sort of recognised that it wasn't a real hit. But this is the first safety car, and there were quite a few safety cars. This is the first of them. We might skip a little bit.
Let's disconnect. You have the tweak. You go when you're ready.
So on the restart, I kind of didn't want to pass before the start finish and was a little tentative, but then did a little bit of a late break and then ended up on the inside along here. I did my best to give him as much room as possible, and he was very courteous with the space in the turn, and then we were sort of ahead by this long left-hander. So gained a couple of spots off that restart, which is a pretty good effort. Happy with that, trying to be as safe as possible, but taking the opportunities when they arise. There's that nasty correction required again. It does actually come across a little bit in this early section, just the frames struggling a little bit on my machine. I did do a bunch of optimization before this race to try and make the graphics handle this early, headlight and heavy rain as best as possible, but unfortunately the game just doesn't seem to like headlights and rain, and particularly headlights and mirrors is a big problem. So it was also a struggle, not only the conditions, but just my machine not handling running VR in these conditions as well. Lots of little stutters too, like we just saw a little stutter there as well. They were initially not too bad, but later in the race it started to become more and more consistent, the stutters, and they certainly throw off your rhythm when you're trying to, if it happens mid-corner, it can be quite a panic.
Just
That's fucking awesome.
We just saw Shepo run wide, and I'll be honest here, quite a recovery because I saw him out there. I thought, I'm absolutely going to get him here, but he got back on the track, and then he got back on the track and got straight into it. I don't actually manage to get past him here. I really thought that was going to be another position, but he holds on pretty well. He does pull up a little short there and cause me a bit of a panic and a little minor lock up, but then he sort of recovers and ends up getting back away from me. This high-speed left-hander, I tell you what, that was some commitment. When it was full spray, the rear end's wiggling around and you're full throttle, you're hanging on to it. In that moment, I actually kind of followed Shepo and ended up cutting it. It was one of my only track cuts in the whole race, and it was just a matter of hanging on for dear life and going, I guess we're going this way. You had to have some faith in the guy in front of you to know where he was going, hoping he got it right because you couldn't see anything better.
Yep. You're right.
I didn't cut you off, right?
Nah, you're all good.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, you were, so was I.
Okay, no worries.
Now I've managed to reel Shepo back in a little bit here. TB9's kind of holding him up, and I'm really hoping for some opportunity here where I might be able to get back past Shepo and then possibly TB9. Shepo's definitely got the pace on both of us. It's pretty clear at this point in time, but just kind of hoping for that that battle to hold him up.
The leader's just done a 134.0.
I think Shepo's running in the Porsche. I could be wrong, but he had some crazy traction out of the turns. That was the main thing I noticed between us, particularly in the wet, was that they really took off out of the corners where I was struggling. Shepo's just gone and got TB9 there at turn 1. Lovely little up the inside late brake manoeuvre, and he's through. So now my sights are set on TB9 and see if I can build him. I think I've got a little bit more pace, but it's definitely not dramatic. So I just kind of got to be consistent, and I'm thinking I'll get him eventually. Just stick with it. And then Shepo runs wide again, same turn. He gets in front and he loses his brake marker, which is a pretty common occurrence. Much easier to follow than it is to lead, but he again recovers very well, ends up back out in front. Goes wide again here. TB9's getting a bit of a sniff. I'm just watching this going, geez, don't take each other out, lads. Now we've got the reverse. We've got Shepo holding up TB9. And again, I'm just sort of sitting here thinking there's going to be an opportunity. Surely there's going to be an opportunity. Watching TB9 go through that mid-turn, I was thinking he was going too wide. I thought it was maybe game over, but he managed to hang in there.
Right side.
And then I saw the opportunity. I knew he was a little slow on that turn. I thought, I'm going to go in deep. Unfortunately, I went in a little too deep, and then what happened was we actually ended up side by side. And the side-to-side contact of the car in AMS2 sometimes results in neither of you being able to turn. So we ended up just going straight on. Fortunately, TB9 managed to get through the corner because that was really my fault, that one, and it affected me more than him. So I learnt my lesson on that one, and we kept going. So I skipped forward a few laps here and I worked my way up to the back of Longy, and he goes wide on this left-hander. Now, it's pretty easy to do. You've seen me doing heaps of corrections here. And I had actually nailed this turn, come in nice and early. I thought I'm going to get on the gas, going to get past him. But what we're about to see is not that happening. He actually recovers pretty well, and then I sort of push up and then back out of it because there's a good chance if I had sent this, I would have gone wide, would have run into him, would have been a bad time. It's not an unfair rejoin by him at all, but I just lift off the throttle because he might come across, I don't know, so I just back out of that one. A bit of a bugger because it does hold me up for a little bit longer. I feel like if I had stuck with it, we wouldn't have collided, it would have been okay, just a little bit of a confidence issue. So I backed out of it, sort of saved the risk. But yeah, it does cost me another couple of laps, unfortunately.
Getting closer. The gap is now 0.6.
It's also the beginning of the lapped traffic. We did have a little bit of this in the race, not too much. Max, as a gentleman, as he always is, absolutely ruins his race by pulling right off the track there, which is very appreciated by us always. Absolute gentleman. But now I've got the taste for blood, so on the back of Longy, really thinking I've got a good chance of getting past him shortly. I feel like I've got the pace in the bag to do it. Up into turn one, late braking is definitely the play.
Right.
I probably shouldn't have been there. He certainly started to turn in. I'm thinking, oh no, we're going to collide. But then he backs out of it and lets me through. So shout out to Longy for that one. It was probably a bit of a late call for me. I probably shouldn't have been there, but I just knew I could brake later. Just kept lifting off the brake to keep edging a bit further forward, and then he let me have it. So yeah, good shout out to Longy there.
The car in front is
Wasn't able to do that long
laps behind.
Bit more lap traffic, we might skip a little bit further ahead. So I might actually just put this up. One of the first laps I've had in the entire race with no spray, no traffic in front of me, a clear road. So let's just have a watch of this one.
The gap to P8 ahead is now 2.9. The leader has just done a 133.8. To 8th place. Ahead is now.
So I lied earlier, but there you go, 3.5 tenths quicker on that lap, just purely from being able to see. So that improved my fastest lap by 3.5 tenths just from having visibility. It was an amazing lap, lots of corrections, lots of little mistakes here and there, but yeah, 3 tenths quicker without anything changing except being able to actually see where you're going. The other thing I'll call out, the middle of that lap, you might have noticed some of the race track side flag boards were flashing blue at times. This happened throughout the race randomly, and it was never with any logic. They're flashing at me essentially, but obviously there's nobody behind me. So yeah, no idea, but weird game bug on this track. It seemed to be getting the position of people wrong, and heard some chatter through the Discord as well at times that other people were seeing this, not just me. So random bug. But anyway, so at this point, Cuckoo in front of me, Cuckoo's got plenty of pace. I just kept doing my best to sort of get consistency, try and bring up the pace. It went back and forth a fair bit. The gap was between 4 seconds and probably 1.5 seconds, right up until I believe the pit stop. So we might skip forward because otherwise you're just going to be watching me lap and see Cuckoo in the distance for many laps here. But it was definitely one of those battles of the time trial with sort of trading laps, going back and forth. I'd gain some, he'd gain some, and off we'd go. So I'll bring it back in here at an interesting point. So you'll notice my right rear tyre, the bottom right of the green squares, is showing a little yellow at times there. So my fuel down to 9 litres. I haven't realised at this point that the steering wheel, which is probably hard to see on this recording, but the middle of the steering wheel does have a fuel usage per lap, a fuel delta required to finish the race, and a few other things on it. Later on, I discover that that is not actually correct. The last race I did with this car, it was perfectly accurate. You could rely on it. It was giving you great data.
Wasn't entirely intentional, but you're welcome.
This time around, not the case. In any case, right now, all I knew is I needed a full tank of fuel. You are seeing me look through the pit strategies here, and because the rain has eased off a little bit, it is clearly still raining. So there was a moment there where I thought about running the dry tyres. This is a crucial point to point out because Cuckoo in front of me, who I'd sort of closed up on, he'd pulled a gap again, we were back and forth. Cuckoo decided to go the dry tyres here. It was the wrong call. I was very close to making the same call. I didn't, crucially, and Cuckoo did. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. He went backwards quite a few spots from it. But we both pull into the pits here. At this point in the time, I've gone with the wet tyres. I'm hoping the strategy's stuck. It is Cook here, as crew chief likes to call him. Yeah, this could have been a game changer. Unfortunately, it was for Cuckoo the wrong way. I decided to stick with the wets. And yeah, that turned out to be the right call for now. So believe it or not, that is, I'm pretty sure it was Esky going off in front of us, and we're actually under safety car right now. This isn't the last time that a safety car is somewhat interesting in the fact that I'm nearly at full push here. Esky was similar to Cuckoo on the slick tyres, and as you saw, he had nothing. He just had zero traction, couldn't turn the car, and he's gone off the track on a safety car. So yeah, I'm not full push here, being cautious, safety car, but I am certainly not hanging around. Later in the race, we see this as well, where Rusty sort of calls out, hey, I've just gone past the pit line. Do I need to slow down? Because he was actually leading the race at the time. Safety car called. If he had slowed to a pit limit of speed, it would have cost him the race. And so you can actually hear Stu in the background. I'll probably still have the chat there at a low volume, sort of calling out. There's people talking about strategies and all these things because, you know, track's dying. Some people, track's drying. Some people out there on slicks with no traction. You know, myself on wets just going, I need to catch the lead car. Like I have no idea where he is, but like it's not near me. We're in a safety car. It was a very messy time with a lot of people and a lot of different strategies. Well handled by Pixel Boy. I'll call out Stu and Pixel Boy together. Did their best crowd work to try and pull this one together. It does take a long while to settle out. You know, people all over the place. We got lapped cars in the middle of it. You know, what's going on? A crew chief yelling out, someone's reeling me in, so I'm not pushing hard enough, clearly. Someone else going quicker. But ready for this? We're like, holy shit, everybody stopped in front of us.
13 and 15 between positions 2 and 3.
This is not what you want to come across on a racetrack. I see a guy flying up behind me who's been reeling me in. Fortunately, got away with it. Wasn't the worst scenario we came across. But yeah, it was a bit of a wild time in that safety car. I think sim racers' discipline for what to do under safety car, it's not the same. You know, if you're racing around a track in real life and they're calling out yellow flag, you bloody well slow down. Not so much the same when it comes to sim racing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay,
let's
Pierre, the next car
skip
is
ahead a little bit till the
behind, just
action
drizzling now. Looks like it'll
resumes.
stop soon.
We'll come through.
Little collision, Sheppo, into the back of Travis there while we're still on a safety car. Sorry, Sheppo, showing that one, giving you shame, but a little bit of action there. Meanwhile, I'm there flicking through my strategies because while we've been under the safety car, the track keeps drying out. And I'm sort of thinking, geez, do I need to pull in now? Do I need to pull in now? Sheppo nearly goes off the track and I nearly follow him as well.
Clear right.
We're still in a safety car, mind you. We've got a huge gap now to the field. So we've got to try and get back up without doing anything crazy. And we've got a restart. We are back at full speed. Look at the pace I've got on Sheppo here. I back off just before the start finish line because you don't do a pass before the start finish under a safety car. And a big correction into turn one. Sheppo's still on the right there.
Clear right.
And we've got
Nice
it.
one, mate. Well done, Pierre. The driver in front of us is Matt.
So we're not out of the woods here. I know from earlier that Sheppo's actually probably got the pace on me in the wet and certainly felt his pressure in the braking zone there. So all I'm trying to do here is build that gap, try and make some space so I can reduce that pressure, particularly in the braking zones, because that's the last thing you want in these tricky conditions. Got Travis in front of me. We're up into 5th at this point, which I tell you what, I am at this point already pretty happy with the progress. Starting 17th, up into 5th, in a good position, on the right tyres, at the right time. In the back of the mind, just watching the track, thinking, when are dry tyres coming? Because they're coming soon.
Time to get defensive, mate.
Main focus at this point, just keeping Sheppo behind, because I know he's got the pace. He absolutely could put a move on. So I'm really just trying to focus ahead. I've got some clear track. I can make the right racing lines, make it work. So I'm actually just going to pause here for a quick minute. One of the cool things about VR is it's capturing not only the game, but actually me as well. So that random camera movement you just saw is me sort of cracking my neck, and it's somewhat of actually a nervous tick. That's me kind of trying to, release some tension because I'm feeling the pressure at this point in time, feeling the pressure to perform.
P5, that lap was at 135.8.
And you hear it right there. So end up with a huge correction in turn one. You could hear the tyres locking. But other than, feeling the pressure and pushing hard, what that also told me was tyres locking, we could hear the squealing. That means there's dry track under there. So we are getting very close to the transition time. Coming to this turn, look at that. That's a fully dry track. We have a completely dry line coming into turn 3, I think that is technically. Maybe turn 4. 1, 2, 3. Probably turn 4. So, yeah, noticing the dry spots on the track, hearing the squeal of the tyres locking up. So I am very much thinking at this point, this is getting very close to dry tyres. Meanwhile, Eski's calling out, who thought slicks was a good idea to cuckoo? They weren't far off the mark. You'd nearly get away with it right about now. And so while they're going on about how bad slicks are, I'm sort of thinking we should be looking at slicks very soon. The other thing I was looking at, those rear tyre temperatures, that rear right, it's very yellow. It's very yellow. It gets more yellow, but this is the lap where I'm thinking, you know what, if I had have pulled in this lap, I probably would have been okay.
Just done at 132.8.
There's the neck crack again, still feeling that pressure, still all these things running through the head. Looking at those tyre temperatures, thinking, tell you what, it's looking pretty dry. You can hear the tyres, they got grip, it sounds dry. There's a dry line. I'm pretty sure I call it in this lap. And yeah, there you go, I've just hit the button straight up. So this is it, I know this is the time. I already had it set to drying track, which means it's going to give me the slicks. It's got the full fuel there. So that was the call. Now, you know what? I reckon if I had gone in that previous lap, I would have gotten even more positions. But this is the lap I pulled it in. Let's watch this one through. I'm definitely at this point thinking full push, you know, try and get the most out of this. I don't think anybody else is making the gamble yet. We've seen a lot of cars struggling on slicks. Everyone in front of me is probably too scared to give up the position. I'm thinking this is the chance to actually make a move. Looking back at the stats, I think No Frills might have actually made the call on this lap, possibly. Is he in front? I can't quite see. I do end up catching up to No Frills on the slicks, and he'd obviously got them before me, so he's either in front of me and makes the call this lap, or he's behind me and he made the call the lap before, I think.
Into traffic. We should come out into position 15, right with P18.
Must admit, crew chief gives me the call. We're going to come out in P15. I'm thinking that doesn't sound good.
The leader has just done a
But we'll see. The pace difference is pretty huge, and it works out very well. So we're going to pick it up here as I'm leaving the pits.
Your exit is clear. Watch the white line. Your brakes are cold.
And I've just slid straight into the fucking wall. I'm sitting here thinking, oh fuck, I fucked right up. I quickly flashed through the HUD to see if I've done any damage. All I spotted was one engine damage. We're okay, but look at that, no traction here coming out of this. I'm thinking, oh, I've made a fucking terrible decision. It turns out just the pit lane, so no one's driving through it, right? So we're not getting rid of the water, and it is slippery as fuck. The dry line's out there on the right, haven't got to it yet. I'm in a panic thinking I've made a terrible call here. And then suddenly, look, the grip is there. The grip is here. Somebody's just asked a question, you know, are we going for slick? Somebody else said, hey, I think PD's gone in. On the dry line, it's fine. Initially I said I'm not giving up my secrets, but then you know what I did? I told them, I said straight up, on the dry line it's fine. I'm giving them updates. I tell them, no, it's good, they're coming up to temp, we're all good. A real racer wouldn't have given up those secrets. He would have bullshitted. He would have said, nah, it's terrible, it's ice out here, definitely stay away. Because I tell you what, one more lap, I would have been the lead of this race. It ends up working out. Spoiler, I end up in second position. I'm pretty sure safety car's called eventually, but I was in second and I was gaining on No Frills. So this was absolutely a bang-on call. Bit of trouble getting out of the pit lane, but other than that, we're about to turn into a rocket ship. I'm just going to shut up.
Get them up to speed, up to 10.
Yep, they're green.
The gap to the 11 behind is increasing. It's now 2.0. 10th position. The car in front of us is now 3 laps behind.
Guess in 31.8 still
I mean, I'm not that fast. Sorry, buddy.
Man is leading the race. You're reeling? No way. In. The gap's now 4.5 seconds. Okay, Pierre, no more rain.
You see that lap delta, 5 seconds up. 5 seconds up on the fastest lap for me so far. Absolute rocket ship. I mean, it was a lapped car we just went past, but we went past them like they were parked, reeling in the next person, absolutely loving it. That was such a good call. 5.6 seconds faster lap was that one. Unfortunately, everybody else saw the writing on the wall. A lot of people in front have just pitted, but we have absolutely got the head start. Tyres are up to temperature. We're absolutely singing. Anyone staying out past this lap, they're going backwards.
The guy ahead.
There's another 7/10, feeling it. And there's that snap of oversteer in that damn corner. Absolute nemesis of this track.
mass is now in the
I sort of
lead.
noticed I'm starting to get a bit greedy, pushing a little hard here. I'm sort of smelling the blood in the water, trying to make the most of it, but to actually end up overdriving a little bit. Rookie mistake. That adrenaline gets in you, you start thinking, yes. And so I sort of recognised it and pulled back a little bit. Probably just in time, because I wasn't far off making a terrible mistake there. So right about now, I've got no frills in front of me. I'm thinking I'm not pulling him in quick enough for it to be a wet versus dry tyre here. I'm thinking he's got to be on slicks. I am reeling him in, but if he's doing that on wet tyres, he can't last very long because the temperature will be going through the roof right about now. I must admit, I haven't gone back to check if that's accurate or not. That's what I was thinking at the time. But he did stay out. I believe we're going to run into a safety car reasonably soon, and I'm pretty sure he stays out. So he must have been on slicks, unless he would have gone in for the wets. But what are we up to? He's showing third right now, I think. And so, yeah, we're going to get a safety car, and in the end, the two people in front will go into the pits, and No Frills will take the lead.
The leader is pitting now.
Sorry.
Almost the same spot as this one.
Yeah.
Be aware, leaders in the pits.
I forgave myself a 50-second penalty. I'm an idiot.
So yeah, the leader is pitted. We're on safety. We were full send in because we're trying to catch the leader. Somebody called it out. But at this point, you know, what pace are we supposed to be doing? We have backed right out of it, which is the right thing to do. That's how safety cars should work. But there's no one in front of us here. Like, what are we doing? What pace are we doing? There's nothing set. Pixel Boys just reaffirmed safety car. I've kind of backed right off thinking, yeah, we shouldn't be pushing that hard under safety car. No Frills now has sort of backed out of it. I give the guys a bit of an update as to where we are over the chat because they probably got no idea because the field is so spread out. It's definitely in an endurance race like this, because the field gets incredibly spread, safety car is massively disruptive, realistically. And
yeah, sorry, buddy.
I mean, they're there for a reason, and it's, you know, if you've been caught out by it, it definitely sucks. But it's quite a difficult thing to wrangle it all together when we don't actually have a safety car. If we had a safety car, it would be easy enough to make it work. When you don't have a safety car,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
you know, you're just scrambling for a pretend eventual limiter. We probably need to set a speed. I don't know. I don't have all the solutions. All I know is it was a bit messy.
I think we're just going to...
So I'm going to bring it back in just before the restart. No Frills is about to step on it. He's going to lose traction. And I'm on him. Here we go. I started in the high gear, kept the traction. We're right here for it.
You're halfway up. Yes.
And let's hit pause. I'm coming into this at a fucking rate of knots. I did not expect No Frills to break so early. And I am currently standing on the brakes going, holy shit, I am going to hit the back of this dude. So I'm turning right. I'm looking for that gap. This was an absolutely terrifying moment. In any case, he managed to keep inside enough. I managed to get outside enough. And then actually, you know what? I think, fuck it, this is an overtaking opportunity. I'm going to stick it out around the outside here. We'll see how that goes.
On your left. Still there. Clear left.
So the pass didn't work. Can anyone spot the danger incoming? Because I tell you what, in the moment, I did not. I am fully focused on No Frills. He's gotten in front. I'm thinking, okay, no worries. I need to tuck in behind here. However, Tweak noticed I was quite slow there. I had to back out. I couldn't push because obviously No Frills on the left there. If I push, I'm going to run into him. I kind of backed out. No Frills did fine. I probably could have kept into it more. I didn't know it at the time.
Left side. Clear left.
Tweak snuck up the inside. I just didn't see it coming. I've gone to turn into the corner and just found a car there and ended up nearly full lock. Holy jeebus. Absolute shit yourself moment. But we got out of it okay. It wasn't the end of the world. Tweak backed out of it, managed to catch it, and on we go. I think it was Magic that slipped through. Someone slipped through in front, but in the scheme of things, not the end of the world, and we survived. So on we fight.
Come on the inside, Rust.
Staying low, Hugo.
Thank you.
Skip. Okay, Pierre. The next car is Mass.
Safety, safety, safety.
Safety car.
As they say, safety cars breed safety
I didn't
cars.
speed you too much. I was losing grip on the outside.
Tweak apologises. Look, no harm, no foul. We survived. He definitely caused me some panic, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's
We'll
Travis.
skip forward again.
Brings through.
All right.
Got it. Perfectly done.
Way to go. No frills. It's up to you, mate.
Ready for the restart.
Brain.
Stick with him. Keep him under pressure. We're quickest at the moment. All right, Pierre. Pit window is open.
Had to check myself up a little bit under brakes there. Magic caught me off guard, but we're okay.
There you go.
See
Sorry.
how wide you can make this thing.
Crew chief calling out. He knows Tweak is quicker. See how wide you can make this thing. I know he's going to get past, and I don't want a collision, but you know what? I'm definitely not going to make this easy. Considering I was closing up on no frills earlier, I'm thinking, you know what? I got the pace here. I feel like I should be fighting up the front. Tweak, Magic, even no frills, all of them absolutely quicker than me at times. But I'm feeling confident in the car right now and in the setup. Tweak's looking. He keeps looking, sticking the nose out. I'm currently trying to watch him while trying to maintain composure and keep pressure on in front.
We think you'll be exiting the pits to clear air. On exit, we should be in position 12.
Crew chief starts talking about a pit window, and I ain't got no idea. It's around about this point. I take some glances at the fuel on my steering wheel dash, and I'm thinking, this isn't adding up. What do you mean pit window? That doesn't make any sense.
126.8. The guy ahead's lap time is a 127.0.
Again, Magic, middle of the turn there makes me stand on the brakes, just not expecting it. Tweak also just absolutely closes right up. I'm starting to think I need better corner exits, so I drop the traction control a couple of clicks. Tweak straight up the inside. I'm sticking it out around the outside, full send.
Still there.
I'm thinking, no way, he can't stay around the outside on this right-hander. He's not going to get me.
Still there.
Because I'll be on the inside for that tight rider, and he's not going to do it. He gives it a red-hot crack, but right about now, yeah.
Sorry, I meant that over Fiesta.
All good.
Let's get back to it.
The pace is increasing. Best lap up 1.2, even with all of this battling going on.
Fastest lap for Noe, 125.1.
Once again,
Okay, Pierre.
closing
Watch your
right
race
up on
pace.
Magic in turn one.
Just
Panic,
125.
thinking I might run into him, lock it up. Big oversteer, that cost me. Now Tweak's back on me. I've lost the gap. So I've gone defensive here. I'm on the inside. Tweak's on the right. He's got a bit of an overlap. And I'm looking at this corner thinking, it's fine. He's going to break out the outside. I'll hang it on. He won't be able to hang on for the fast left-hander coming out of it. Little do I know, Tweak is about to pull off an absolutely outrageous late brake maneuver. It goes past me like I'm parked and continues on.
Right side. Hold your line. Clear right.
He does run a little wide, but absolutely A-class maneuver from
good
Tweak
work,
there.
man. Awesome.
Fantastic.
That was a hell of a battle, boys.
So a fair bit later on, here we are. I've lost touch with those guys up front. I'm not keeping the pace. Sheppo's behind me, and it's clear this corner. Oh, my Achilles heel. I just can't get the thing braked and turned in. Sheppo straight up the inside. Rusty right on his clacker, and you know what? I think, fuck it. I'm not letting Rusty through here. I'm sticking this out on the inside, hanging it out as best I can without absolutely pushing him off the track. Tweak off the track in front of us. Absolute shame. Tweak was killing it. He must have made a mistake, pushing too hard to push through Magic. Rusty on the left hasn't given up. He hasn't given up, and I back out of it. I didn't have the exit. I couldn't fight him through here. Tell you what, well done, Rusty. He absolutely stuck it out, kept the pace on the outside, earned that position perfectly, and we have another safety car. So, look, back in P5, I'm not particularly upset with this position. I think I've been having a great race. My pace isn't there. This Lamborghini is a struggle, to be perfectly honest. In general, it is an absolute bastard to drive. So, been doing pretty well with that.
Pretty much.
Good job, Smithy. Well done, buddy.
I've skipped a fair bit ahead here again. Rusty making the move on Sheppo now. We're actually showing P3, I think, from pit stops maybe. So yeah, actually currently sitting P3. About a half a tank of fuel, so reasonably well positioned. There is going to be one more pit stop to the end for me from here. I don't know when that's going to be, and I don't know how much fuel I'm going to put in, but I am confident from this point onwards that I am looking at one more pit stop. We'll jump a bit further ahead again to something more interesting.
You guys catch on the left?
So that left-hander earlier I was referring to was the bane of my existence. That tight right-hander I just went through, that became the burden of my existence. Again here, look, a little wide, pushing too hard, trying to keep in touch, and struggling. I'm also right now, I'm looking at that dash. I'm looking at the fuel usage. I'm looking at the fuel delta.
You're out of track limits.
I'm looking at the time left, and I'm going, none of this makes sense. The numbers do not add up at all. I'm looking at it thinking, there's no way I am on a negative 15-ish fuel delta to get to the end when I've got 38 litres and you can't quite see it on the screen. I think it was 20-ish, 5 minutes, 25 maybe. What are we at, 30 minutes here currently. So like for the next 5-ish minutes, I'm looking at that dash, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with the fuel, and you know, struggling to keep pace. The guys in front, they're disappearing. The guys behind, they're catching up. Currently sitting, is it P3? It was P3. I can't see the number on the screen. Like I think it's between P3 and P5. Just heard the call out. Magic stopped at turn 2. Magic had another disconnect, so we had another person drop out for technical failures. I just saw on the screen, yeah, so currently sitting P3. So sitting very pretty, very happy. If I could finish P3, dream run from 17th. Absolute dream run. I was hoping for a top 10. So anything around here is fine. But I am really struggling right now to keep the pace up and do the fuel numbers. It's doing my head in. It's doing my absolute head in. I'm just thinking, these numbers don't make any sense. You see me glance at the time up the top left, and I'm just going, these fuel numbers, what's going on? Like 4 litres a lap times, you know, a minute 20 a lap by that many laps, and I'm going, that doesn't make any sense. That can't be right because my fuel's going down faster than that. And I'm just absolutely stuck trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with the fuel. I've just dropped a second on my fastest lap. I should be increasing speed, not losing it. There's another oversteer, turn 1. It's the mental load is getting too much. We've been racing for an hour and a half. I can't figure out this fuel. It is killing me.
gap's
and
come
I am
down to
absolutely
1.7
struggling
seconds.
to keep pace and figure out the fuel. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. I should have absolutely given up on the fuel, decided to run full fuel at the pit stop, and focused on racing. That would have absolutely been the net better outcome. Instead, I am trying to do the numbers because I don't want to waste time in this pit stop. You know, wasting time in the pit stop is just dead time. You lose 20 seconds maybe. Stopped. And I've got the taste of that third position, and I'm looking at this thinking, I can do this. I can hang on to this position. I just need to get this pit stop right. But what fucking fuel am I putting in this damn car? Well, I should have focused on
What a
race.
drive, dude. I'll let these guys through in jail.
Yeah, we'll let Travis through and keep going.
Yep, all good, buddy. I'll stay behind you.
So now I bring up the fuel strat. Fuel's getting low. I'm trying to look at it thinking, what am I going to do?
I wouldn't trust it.
110 litres is 26 laps, it reckons. So now I can do the numbers. I know how long a lap is. I know how many laps there should be left. So I'm looking at this thing and there's about 20-ish laps left. Trying to do the numbers in my head. I'm still struggling. I'm in no man's land, right? I'm in the middle of nowhere. People behind me are miles away. People in front of me are miles away. I'm in no man's land. This should be absolute cruising territory. But I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what fuel to put in this car. Previously, I had a button mapped and I could ask crew chief, fuel to the end, and he'd tell me. I was absolutely praying for that right now. I just did not have the button. I did not map the button. I have no idea. There could have been a button. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't ask crew chief. Crew chief wasn't telling me. And I just had no idea what fuel to put in. The car's giving me nothing. The numbers aren't adding up. Crew chief's giving me nothing. And it's absolutely killing me. Look at that. 1.3 seconds down. I cannot stay focused on the track. I am too absolutely caught up with the numbers of a potential pit. I'm also looking at the tyres. Now, the tyres aren't overheating, but they're not far off it, you know. They're getting a bit yellow, particularly with a little bit of a slide. I had kind of planned to do a medium tyre if the track was getting too hot. And that's the hot track strategy that we saw a minute ago when I had the pit strategy up. And so I'm thinking, you know what, let's play it safe. Let's put in full fuel. Let's run the medium tyre. It won't overheat. I might lose a position or two, but it's going to be a great finish. And then that happens. Just locked it up. Just locked it up in that turn. All these other things completely distracted me from driving. And a simple fuck up like that. And we've just dropped 2 positions. Now I'm in 5th. Look at those rear tyres. Absolutely cooked now. It's because I slid out. So, you know, it's really because I slid out. The tyres are not that cooked because they're soft. It's because I slid out. I should have absolutely stuck with this soft tyre strategy. But looking at the tyre temperatures now, it's kind of settled in my mind, I'm going to go for the medium tyre. What we're going to find out, and what I had no idea at the time, is I think when I set up that pitch strategy, I fucked up and did not put 4 tyres on. I think that pitch strategy had front tyres only. I had no idea, of course, until afterwards, but I have to assume that's what happened. We'll play this through because this is pretty much the end. Spoiler warning, it does not end well. I come out of the pits with the wrong tyres and shit goes wrong.
Safety car, safety car.
Safety car, safety car, safety car.
Here's the icing on the cake. Safety car called. I start backing out of it straight away. I shouldn't have, but I'm really thinking about this pit stop.
When we exit the pits, we
So
should be
I
at
think
P11.
this is the chance. I'm going to put pits. I'm going to do a pit stop. I'm going to put fuel in. We're going to call it here. I know that fuel is going to be enough.
Laps behind.
It'll actually fill up the car. That is full fuel. Like, that's going to be it to the end.
Long.
Take the opportunity. Let's pit early. I think
Look out for the
a
pits
little bit
being
of controversy as well. Rusty's kind of saying, can I push? He keeps pushing in first, absolutely sends it around. I think he actually comes out pretty well.
Go around.
What we're going to watch here, though, is I don't get to find any of that out. We're going to do this real time. But so here we are in the pits. I'm pitting. I'm listening to what's going on the radio. I'm thinking, I'm coming out fine here. This will be okay. I'm in a good spot. I was P5. This will be the final pit stop. We're going to be, you know, in a good position to make this work. Let's just sit on board.
Let's get the pace up, guys.
Keep going.
Payne is pitting from P9. Expect him to come out a bit behind you. Go, go, go. Mark is entering the pits. He's in P16. We think he'll come out close in front.
All right. Out of the pits.
Keep going, keep going.
You're all clear.
The car's
Stay
not
behind
turning.
the line.
The car's not turning. Why is the car not turning? What the fuck? I've got blue tyres on the front.
Pitting from P1.
I got green on the
We think
back.
he'll
Oh
come
my
out
god, I've
just
nearly run
behind
into the
you.
wall.
The leader,
What's
Jack,
going on here?
is
Okay.
pitting.
Shit. Shit indeed. I can't click anything. Nothing's working. I am stuck in the pits. I'm calling out. I'm stuck. I can't even click OK. I see it says retire.
P9. Okay, that's the
And
finish.
it clicks
Can
OK.
you slow right down, please?
So that's the end of the road for me. That was the end of my race.
Who was the victim of the safety car?
So yeah, shame to end it that way. It wasn't the way I wanted to end it. It was quite a good race up until that point. Just a moment of panic. And I'd actually come across this when I was practicing earlier, that I could bump that pause button by accident. And of course thought at the time, geez, that could catch me out. I didn't change it though, of course. So here we are. And yeah, I will change it in the future. I also considering maybe going back to flat screen racing, because it was clear that the VR on my system struggled, and particularly towards the end of the race, I was getting lots of little minor glitches that would throw off the rhythm. You know, on top of the mental load of trying to figure out the fuel, trying to keep up the pace, it was a real struggle. So if I go back to a flat screen, and my computer can run one 34-inch, you know, widescreen, absolutely easy, but the VR it's a hard time. It's a 4070 Ti. You think it'd be fine, but you know, it's not bleeding edge, and it clearly does struggle. On top of everything. But I tell you what, racing in VR, it's a great time. The immersion is huge, and I really get a sense of speed, and I feel like I can read the car better in VR, get better spatial awareness, and it's just generally a better time. But I don't have the money to throw at big stuff, and it possibly just isn't good enough. So anyway, had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this review. Probably a little bit more long-winded than what I wanted, but there was so much action in this one. It was hard to cut a lot out. And yeah, I had an awesome time racing. Shout out to Pixel Boys, to all the guys in GTL, all the guys that raced in that one. It was a really good time, and a shame I didn't get the result I wanted. It's happened a few times in this endurance series, but I tell you what, I'd come back every time because it's such a good time racing. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.